What's up, guys? Meow, and I'm back with another video. And man, that Xfinity Series race did not disappoint. We are back with Xfinity race reaction, and of course, had to be pushed back to today because of rain and all that. So let's just go ahead. Let's just get right into it. So I actually missed most, or not most of the race, but like all of stage one and most and part of stage two. Basically, right up until a couple of laps before the rain came in stage two, I missed that because of work. So I had to catch up in all my notes, courtesy of Twitter. Thank you to the likes of Bob Poggers and Chris Knight for that, for tweeting all this and stuff. So no one would go to the rear to start the race, but Matt Mills' car would stall, so he had an issue right out of the gate. Um, and then the race gets going. Caution would come out early for Jade Buford. AJ Allmendinger suffered a flat tire, then reports an issue. Apparently, the sway bar looks to have come loose, or one of the bolts came off, or whatever. We get a competition caution at lap 25. Brett Moffitt gets a speeding penalty. AJ Allmendinger, who was already 2 laps down, gets a pitting too soon penalty. And then we get caution for Stephen Parsons. And then on the next restart, or going to the choose cone, Jeb Burton and David Starr were both sent to the rear for not choosing fast enough. Basically, what that is NASCAR, in terms of the choose cone, they've been warning drivers, if you lag behind and and the guy behind you comes up close to you or whatever, they're going to penalize you for it. Basically penalize you for taking too long to choose. So that's what happened to them. And then next caution would be Michael Annett would spin. George Gorham Jr. also spun, so that would bring the caution out. And then to end stage one, we got a caution from Riley Herbst. Harrison Burton got some contact, but no damage. Huge stack up in the corner. Noah Gragson wins stage one under caution. Austin Cindric second, Justin Haley third, Ty Gibbs fourth, Brandon Brown fifth, Myatt Snyder sixth, Jeremy Clements in seventh, JJ Yeley in eighth, Jeffrey Earnhardt in ninth, and Bailey Curry in 10th. And then midway through stage two, red flag comes out. They waited, or not midway through, but they waited and waited and waited, and they ended up calling it around 12:30 in the morning. That race would be postponed to today at noon. So race restarts at lap 97 during stage two today. And 1 lap later, Ryan Vargas wrecks, but he makes it down pit road, no caution, and Vargas' day is done. Reported on Twitter that he lost his brakes and his foot went through the floor, got on the back of somebody, and his day was done. JD Motorsports, all 4 of their drivers had issues today, as we would see later on. We'll get to that. Myatt Snyder gets into the 92 of Josh Williams. Williams loses a tire. Caution comes out. Apparently, Williams intentionally brought the yellow. Apparently, he spun. And some people were asking about this because of what happened with Kyle Busch in the Truck Series a few weeks back. And Pockers gave the reply of, it seems like NASCAR is just, they're getting, cracking down on it more. And then they decided to rescind the penalty, basically because with the amount of work that had to be done on Williams' car, that was basically a penalty in of itself. Like, if you're a Monster Jam fan, you remember when they got rid of the turning poles and just put the cars around the corner, for the turns? Basically, and they mentioned this during broadcast multiple times, after they did that, you don't get a 5-second penalty for hitting the cars, because the penalty is hitting the cars, which slows you down. So yeah. But fans weren't too happy about that. Basically NASCAR being inconsistent again. Ow. It is what it is. And then Daniel Hemric would win stage two, his 14th stage win of his career. Noah Gragson second, Jeb Burton third, Michael Annett fourth, Jeremy Clements fifth, Tommy Joe Martin sixth, Stephen Parsons seventh, JJ Yeley eighth, George Gorham Jr. ninth, and Josh Berry in 10th. Some drivers stayed out under the previous caution beforehand, which allowed for that, which was nice to see. Tommy Joe Martins and some others stayed out under this caution, for the end of the stage. And then J.J. Yaley won the race off pit road after taking no tires. So then we get going. Next caution comes out for Colby Howard, spinning off the bumper of Kyle Weatherman, going into the corner. The two had made contact earlier. I believe Howard got loose, went up the racetrack. Weatherman was there, and Howard then came back down on Weatherman, got into the side of him, and so a few laps later, Weatherman basically drove him into the corner, and Howard spun. And it also showed Hemric below Weatherman had some front end damage, and I'm like, where the hell did you get that from? Well, they showed a replay. The bottom stacked up on a restart, or on the previous restart, and Hemric got in the back of Michael Annett. Then we get a caution for Brandon Godovic. He got some help from Jeremy Clements. We get restarted. Riley Herbst loses a tire, or tire goes down off contact with Myatt Snyder. Tommy Joe Martins would be slow on the backstretch, but he makes it to pit road. He would come back out later. And then we get a caution for Blaine Perkins and Joe Graf Jr. Gray Gaulding got in the back of Graf. Joe got into Perkins. They spun. Joe's day would be done. Perkins would be several laps down. But interesting fact, this was Joe's first incident of 2021. I'm not even joking. This was his first one. And if you've watched every race to this point, just go back to Daytona. He should have been... There were like 5 different wrecks that he somehow avoided. That he was so close to. Like, bro. The way... And I saw some people in the Twitch chat. I was, watching the race on stream. They were like, oh, that's revenge for Gaulding losing his ride to Graf. Graf's doing his right. Guys, shut the fuck up. Gaulding did not lose his ride to Graf. Graf did not steal Gaulding's ride. Gaulding left, and Graf got the ride. That's it. Dead serious. Get the fuck over it. And Graf's looked a lot better this year. He's, for the team that it is, he's looked better this year than he has last year. Granted, last year was his rookie season, and obviously no practice. Still not much practice this year, but you get the point. But even still, it sucks to see Graf get taken out like that. It's just, shit happens. It's a short track. Gaulding just got into him too hard. And then Graf spun, and Perkins was there, and Perkins got collected. Again, Graf would be done. Colby Howard, one of Vargas's teammates, he would be done with a suspension issue. I presume it would have something to do with the wreck from earlier. We got 6 drivers that would stay out under this caution. Bailey Curry, Jesse Little, and David Starr among them. Obviously, that would cause some shenanigans up front. We get a caution with 45 to go for Alex LeBay, who spun on the front stretch, which came off of contact from Brandon Godovic. Myatt Snyder dove it in on the bottom and took it 3 wide. Gets hit by LeBay as he spun. Snyder saved it. He fishtailed a little bit on the front stretch, but saved it. And then coming down towards the end, both the 4 of Landon Castle and the 0 of Jeffrey Earnhardt would bow out of the race with various issues. So all 4 of JD Motorsports' drivers all unable to finish the race today. And in the end, Josh Berry would take the white flag, and he would end the curse of the 8 car by winning the race. The first time that the 8 car under the Junior Motorsports banner has ever won in the Xfinity Series. Teammate Noah Gragson finished 2nd, Daniel Hemric 3rd. I'm just watching coming in. And again, Hemric, even with the front end damage, he still had a really fast car and managed to finish this race in 3rd. And I'm watching and I'm like, please, Hemric, do not get into Gragson. Do not get into Gragson, please. Like, I was thinking we were going to get a caution towards the end, and we didn't. But I'm like, if we're going to get a caution, it better not be for Gragson and Hemric. And of course, with like 10 laps to go, the broadcast shows what happened back at Atlanta. And I'm like, That is the worst possible timing to do that. And no, stop it. Oh, jeez. But you know what? I'm happy for Josh. I was like, being a Gragson fan, I kind of wanted a caution because I wanted to see Gragson win, but at the same time, I also wanted to see Barry win because he deserved it, and he did. Like Barry, like the three cars, what basically felt like the three fastest cars that were out there, they finished 1, 2, 3 respectively. Barry was really good all throughout the day when he was up front. Gragson and Hemric were both really good up front, and they both had to work their way through traffic, especially Hemric. And in the end, all three of them finished in the top three. That's impressive, and I'm glad to see Barry get that car a win and finally end the curse of the 8 car. Obviously, it's not going to count towards the playoffs because, well, he's not racing full time, but still, that is awesome to see. And yeah, I mean, I've got nothing much else to say about that. So, great day today for Gragson. Uh, Hemric rebound. Hemric did pretty well as well. Some other drivers. Allmendinger had issues earlier on that really hampered him all throughout the day. Again, tough break for the JD Motorsports teams. Tough break for Joe Graf Jr. Graf was pissed on the radio. Like, people were talking about it. He was pissed. And I can't blame him. I mean, Gaulding just went in the corner a little too hard. It is what it is. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to use my code ANJJ for free shipping on orders of $20 or more at Circle B Diecast. And I will see you all later today tonight actually, for the Cup Series race review. Remember, 4 o'clock Eastern, that will get going. So, see you then.